Yo, what's good? This your boy Derek Branch here, SportsView360.com, covering New Orleans Saints. And today I just want to talk about a report put out by NFL insider from Sportskeeda.com, Tony Pauline, as he reported today that the Saints could be possibly moving on from all-pro veteran safety, former LSU Tiger, New Orleans native, former St. All Purple Knight, Tyrann Mathieu, as based on what he's hearing at the NFL Combine. Now, just to give you an overview of what goes on at the Combine, besides the prospects working out, going through drills, conducting interviews with teams, and all that. A lot of negotiations go on at the Combine between opposing teams. You know, in regards to trades going down, team speaking to that player's agent, discussing contract deals, rumors of who could get moved. Also, if a trade was about to come about in the draft where a team want to move up, that kind of gets discussed at the combine. So a lot of excuse me, a lot of things go down at the combine. A lot of rumors get leaked at the combine. So according to Pauline, Tyrann Mathieu, the Saints could possibly release him. Now, this report was put on the site by, excuse me, by on Louisiana Sports Net, Louisiana Sports .net Saints writer, Saints reporter, Ross Jackson. He was just, going down. He just provided a breakdown of what it could mean to lose Tyrann Mathieu and why the Saints may be doing it. So he just basically said that, if they decide to part ways with Mathieu, safety could become a bigger need with this football team, you know. And also, he goes into the contract details as well, saying that last year the Saints gave Mathieu a 1 year extension last off season, extending his deal through the 2025 season. As a result, now carries an $11.3 million cap hit, which will result in a $1 million in lost cap space if released. Potential savings. Um, However, if the Saints designate Mathieu as a post June 1 cut, they could save more than 6.2 million. That being said, these savings will not take effect until June 2nd, well after the Saints must first clear their more than 40 million overage. So he also goes into details on the impact of possibly releasing Mathieu, saying that the fan base will strongly resist Mathieu's release. The 12-year veteran is a New Orleans native that has been active and an impactful member of the community. Talks about the future plans. Mathieu he told Brooke Kachoffer, formerly of New Orleans Now Football, that he wanted to play at least 2 more years in the city, which he grew up in, and wanting to lead him to another Super Bowl. And he talks about the new coaching staff role in the decision. The new coaching staff may not show loyalty, even to the most established players. A move like that will clearly remind everyone that the NFL is a business. Possible alternative moves. Pauline's report may suggest that the Saints are excuse me, are considering this move only if other options don't work out. For example, They could try to restructure Mathieu's contract, as he did last season before making a final decision. For now, though, that remains to be seen. So, um, here's how I see it. Right? He said that Jackson said that the fan base was strongly to resist Mathieu's release. I don't know. A lot of people is a mixed bag to me. I know that social media you can't really base the majority of what fans say on the internet or social media, but from what I'm seeing is that a lot of people want Tyrann Mathieu gone, and these are Saints fans. A lot of people feel as though, excuse me, a lot of people feel as though Matthews fell off as a defender. Some people out there that love that Tyrann Mathieu is here. That love that he is playing with his hometown team and want him to finish the rest of his career with his team. But there's, like I said, there's others that believe that he's not the same player that he once was. That he's not the same. He's not having the same type of impact. He's only 32 years old. You know, he's not. He's not in this. You know, he's not super old as a corner as a safety in the NFL. He's only 32. I mean, to me, when we really start seeing these guys fall off at that position, it's like 35, 37, 38. That's when you start seeing the serious decline. But I mean, he's out of his prime, man. But he's still a really good player. He's still a really good contributor. He can be, you know what I'm saying? But I can understand both sides of the argument, man. But I think if they had to let him go, I can see him going to a contender. You know what I mean? And also, man, it kind of sucks though that Matthew came here and where he came from, and his team has not been back to that level. You know what I mean? Matthew coming from the Kansas City Chiefs, a team that was a team that was always in Super Bowl contention. You come here, you thinking you go into that same type of organization. You come into an organization that had, speaking in past tense, but that had a reputation of compete for championships every year, winning division titles every year, and he gets here and it doesn't even happen. The team only had one winning season since he arrived in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Hometown player. You know what I'm saying? Come here thinking that this team had a shot at winning a championship. But now, man, then due to Mickey Loomis deciding to stick with Dennis Allen for all those years, it's kind of like you know Max didn't use up the guy's prime. You know what I'm saying? Use up his days, his better days. You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta wait and see how it all play out, man. But I don't know how. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't know, but there's two options to replenish this position: the draft and free agency. You know, first round pick. At number 9, you could go with Malachi Starks out of Georgia. That also be some more other intriguing options at that position, man. But do you take a safety at 9? You know, the Saints have never, taken a safety at 9 in its current era of football. A safety never went in the first round under them. That's a position that they usually focus in on in the third round, fourth round, fifth round, but not in the first. But it will become a need because, to be honest, I think you need two more young safeties, man. Because I'm not so sure if Jordan Howden is the guy going forward. You know, maybe you can put in, maybe you insert Will Howard, not Will Howard, young Will Harris into that role. As a box safety, and consider other options at the free. But we gotta wait and see how it all gonna play out, man. But another week or two away from free agency, where it can start tampering and things like that with the players and all that, where players can express where they intend to sign to next. But I think it's gonna be a lot of mixed reactions if if the Saints decide to release Tyrann Mathieu, it's gonna be a lot of mixed reactions, man. For some people, it's gonna suck, because hometown player, New Orleans native, played at LSU, come back home, and now he gets released. For some people, they'll be happy because they feel as though he lost a step. Feel as though he wasn't out there, you know, having that type of impact on the game like he usually has. You know, maybe a lot of this was because of how bad the defensive line played. Because if the defensive line a defensive line can't apply pressure, can't get after the quarterback, can't collapse the pocket. That affects things as well. When that affects what a defensive back can do as well, because running backs ran all over the Saints defense, rush defense, and they left it up to guys like Tyrann Mathieu who come down and make plays. You know, but like I said, um, when Tyrann Mathieu first came here, I bet he had visions. I bet he had hopes of continuing to compete for championships with his team. It's because where he came from, that's all he do. He come from a winning organization, and you come down to this, you know, um, the team pretty much is going into a rebuild. You know what I'm saying? And it would not releasing him would be, a sign of more things to come, of the sign of where this team is at. Because I do believe that the Saints need to get younger. They need to get younger at a lot of positions on this team. So you will not catch me turning my nose up at any position that they address in that first round, including safety, including defensive tackle, including offensive line, tight end, running back, wide receiver, linebacker. You go into a brand new defense. Now I know, like, you do need leaders on this team, though. You do. You just can't bring in a bunch of young guys and expect them to contribute, like, or be so up to speed on how the league works. You know, I think you need some veterans. You need to keep a few veterans around. You know, but I kind of saw this was going this way. This was going to go out this way a few weeks ago when they put out where they were talking about Derek Carr coming back, and guys like there's a chance that one of those guys, Tyrann Mathieu, Cam Jordan, and Demario Davis, one of those guys could be let go. And maybe it might be Tyrann Mathieu, but we'll see how it all play out, bro. But remember, Tony Pauline was the same guy that put out the rumor that Mickey Loomis was going to push the old coaching staff, the coaching staff from the previous regime onto the new head coach as, you know, a deal breaker for that job, to get this job. And that turned out not to be true. So yeah, you gotta take this report what Pauline put out with a grain of salt. So we'll see how it all play out, man. But the report is Saints are considering releasing Tyrann Mathieu according to NFL insider Tony Pauline, but we'll see how it all play out soon. That's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, let me know how you feel. Do you think the Saints should consider releasing Tyrann Mathieu? And also check out sportsview360.com/Saints for latest content on the Wall Saints organization. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out.